Everybody's got a pain inside, imaginary wounds they fight to hide. How can I hate them when everybody's got a pulse? I dream in a world that wants my soul, that tells me if I hate, I can control. But I don't believe it, I cannot conceive it, 'cause everybody's got a pulse. I am human, I am love, and my heart beats with my blood. Love will always win underneath the skin. Everybody's got a pulse. Once again I hang my head to cry. I can't find a reason why they died. We will find the answer blowing in the wind. That everybody's got a pulse. I am human, I am love, and my heart beats with my blood. Love will always win underneath the skin. Everybody's got a pulse. Who you gonna hate now when there's no one left but you? Who you gonna gun down if you can't kill the truth? That it's inside of us, it's inside our blood, it's inside of us. I am human, I am love, and my heart beats in my blood. Love will always win underneath the skin. Everybody's got a pulse. I am human, I am love, and my heart beats in my blood. Love will always win underneath the skin. Everybody's got a pulse. I am human, I am love, and my heart beats in my blood. Love will always win underneath the skin. Everybody's got a pulse. Everybody's got a pulse.
All right, well, ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of GayTalk 2.0, an LGBT podcast streaming live on Digital Stream Radio, where you can access that live stream every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can do so by visiting digitalstreamradio.com. My name is Tom, and I am your host, and as always, I'm in the studio with my amazing co-host, starting with the first one.
Hey, y'all, Nick or Trish.
And
good to be with you guys. It's Chris.
And welcome you all to
The Dish.
So, Jay's...
Did your voice crack a little bit?
A little bit, okay. I was like, they're not going to let it go.
So Jay couldn't join us today. He's unfortunately suffering from a cold, and he didn't want to spread those germs, which we are super appreciative about. And so thank you for not coming.
It is weird not having him here, though.
Right. Because he's always like the very serene voice. Like he's very bearish and stuff, but he's very serene in a sense. Like when he talks, he's very calming.
Calm, composed.
Right. I don't know about composed, but definitely calming.
Well, I mean, for the most part, compared to the two of you, I would say that definitely.
Cut his mic.
She's about to get cut.
Cut the mic.
So, so there's a lot of things going on. Obviously, today is Flag Day. And so we wanted to kick off the Today Show with that and talk a little bit about what that means, the official Flag Day, obviously, and then we're going to, of course, gay it up and talk about our flag. So I'm going to toss it over to...
Do you want to, like...
Oh, we'll get there after the flags.
Are you going to talk about the... Okay.
Oh, do you want me to switch?
I don't know.
I feel like this is something you should have established before we go on air.
Yeah.
Like now we're having a discussion while we're live on air about...
I mean, but that's kind of normal.
It is kind of normal. Just like when the people are like, well, if you're not messy, that would be abnormal.
All
yeah.
right. So let's switch it up then. Okay. So the song that we played, Pulse, obviously by the amazing Melissa Etheridge, was written in a day, and she wrote it the day after the Pulse shootings that occurred on June 12th in 2016. That song was released the very next day after that, and it has been a staple on our show for a very long time. We used it to commemorate 49 beautiful souls that we lost on that day. And we had Melissa come on the show twice to talk about this amazing song and, the great woman that she is. We've seen her a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to, show solidarity with the LGBTQ plus community and the fact that on Saturday, June 12th, was the 5th year anniversary. And so I'll toss it over to my boys to open up the table and talk a little bit about what that means for us today. So don't we start with you, Trish?
Okay. I don't know. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Right.
Like, that's what's blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll never forget the day and what I went through. I think, did I talk about it on the show last week?
No,
No.
You did mention what it was like because you were at your friend's wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go into it, we can.
Yeah, no, it was weird. I mean, I woke up after, my best girlfriend's wedding, and she woke me up to let me know that this had happened, and I had no reaction, and then about a couple hours later, I was just a sobbing, uncontrollable mess.
Right.
And I couldn't articulate why. I mean, I knew why, but like it was crazy. It was really, it was, I mean, at the time, the biggest mass shooting in the United States, and it happened during Pride Month. To mainly Latinx and LGBTQ plus members and allies. And, I mean, to this day, it's just shocking and hurts. And it's nice to see that they're going to be making a, official national memorial, for Pulse at the site. The bill literally passed on Wednesday. So Joe Biden, our president, is probably going to sign it into law shortly. But yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. It's sad, but it's amazing that, they will get some sort of commemoration so that we can remember them for, forever. I think that, when I think about the day and what happens and, Saturday, I took the time to sit down and read all 49 names to myself. We've read them on the show
and
before.
with micro naps.
And, well,
reading.
Yes.
It took about 2 hours.
So, but I did. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to reflect on that because I felt that was important. Where were you when Pulse occurred?
I was in my apartment. I just remember waking up to the news. I had fallen asleep with the news on, and I woke up to the breaking news reporting what had happened at Club Pulse.
Right.
And I think about it regularly, and it's definitely a day of reflection, to acknowledge that there is there is such hatred out there that really does poison not only our nation, but other nations, but to reflect on those beautiful lives who were taken from us, but also to remember that we can overcome hate by just loving each other more.
Right.
Like love is love. Love will always triumph over hate. And that's just kind of what I tried to think about when I was thinking about it, reflecting on Saturday, just that we will not let hatred tear our community apart, or really any community.
There are two dates for me that really mark a sense of stop what you're doing and acknowledge the fact that this happened, and that we still to this day have no sensible gun control reform on the books at all. And one of those is the events of December 12th, obviously when Sandy Hook happened, you know, and if 20 children, 6 and 7 year old children didn't do what needed to be done. I mean, if their deaths didn't make Congress move on the fact that we needed to pass gun control, I don't think anything else will do it.
Clearly it's not.
You know, and when you think about 49 people, as Nick stated before, that was the largest mass shooting in U.S. history at that time, which was then triumphed by the next mass shooting in Vegas a couple of years later. And so it's just, for me, I remember I was in the bar. I work at a bar, right? And this happened in one of what we perceive to be our safe spaces, right? Yeah. Our bars have always been those spaces that, you know, we turn to when we want to get away, when we want to, you know, forget about the worries and the issues and everything that happens in the real world. We go to our safe spaces and we sort of kind of let loose and have fun. And I was in the bar, and I remember we closed the bar. It was 2 a.m. and I look at my phone and I'm seeing all these news clips come in, you know, mass shooting at Club Pulse, LGBTQ bar. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this could have been here, you know? And till this day, and I think a lot of the reason why I didn't return as a bartender to the bar was because every time I was behind that bar and that door opened, my neck flips.
Oh, 100%.
It's an automatic thing for me. It's I think that's my trauma. That's what I took out of this tragic event, is that I am forever always thinking about who's walking in through that door and what could they potentially do to us and to our patrons.
The fact that we have to, well, one, yes, every time I work, I think, what would I do, or how would I react in that situation? And it's kind of always in the back of my mind. But then I also think about the fact that you look at schools and you look at, you know, different, I work in theater, and we all have to have these elaborate plans for, you know, in case there is, you know, a shooter. And walking through that training at the theater was so, and kids have to do this shit, was so visceral and like terrible and real and scary. And at the end of the day, the reality is, like, we can have a plan in place, but if that actually happens,
oh shit, you know, caution. You don't think about that. I mean, obviously drills and trainings help because it helps to put those things in your mind, right? They live somewhere as a reminder, you know, so, you know, when it's time to, you know, fight or flight,
right?
You know, you have a sensible idea of what it is that you're going to do. And I'll tell you, in our work, in my job, my real job, we had a speaker come in, and this individual was one of the investigators for Club Columbine. And we were shown images, graphic images of what was going on, how many people died, what the shooters were doing and how they were doing it. And the fact that there were things that were never actually said to the media. There were pipe bombs in that school.
They had pipe bombs. They had propane bombs in the cafeteria.
They had several like homemade pipe bombs placed in that school even prior to the day that the shooting happened.
They had pressure cookers in the cafeteria.
it was really alarming to me to see that. And then we were going through what would we do in our building. And then I start looking around and I'm like, we built this new building with just cubicles and only in the center so that light can travel. You have offices with glass doors and glass. So there is nowhere to hide in this building. So you have to, and this is, the guy was very honest with us. He goes like, we're doing an evaluation of your compound. And honestly, you don't have places to hide here. So your decision, and you need to get this in your brain right now, is when something happens, you need to decide whether you're going to flee or you're going to stand your ground and fight.
Fight or flight. And that's what we're born with. That's instinct.
Right. And it's shocking, right? That, here we are and
there's still no common sense gun reform.
Right. It won't happen. It's been proven now that there is no death toll that will push Republicans to...
And no demographic.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is. They've even had Republican congresspeople be gunned down.
Yeah,
and it won't turn their eye.
What was the one, Scalise, that was shot?
Steve Scalise.
Wasn't he shot?
He was shot at
playing
a baseball game. A congressional baseball game. Gunned down. He survived. I shouldn't say gunned down, but he did survive. But there's no death toll that will... I don't even want to say nudge because they don't need a nudge. They're just stuck in their ways, and there's nothing. No amount of Americans can die for the Republicans to take on any common sense gun reform.
And it's not like they won't take on it. It's just that the NRA won't let them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's yeah.
You're right. Say what you will about the NRA, but they've got lobbyists and
absolutely.
No, 100%. You're
absolutely.
right.
Big bucks
like that, but it's not. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's not necessarily the NRA. It's the fact that we have corrupt politicians taking money from them and won't go against them because they want to continue to
The NRA can do what they want because they're the ones who are throwing the money. It's the people who are taking the money.
Right, and the politicians can do what they want, but they take the money.
Exactly. So they're the dirty, grimy ones.
Right.
The NRA, we already know they're grimy because they're trying to buy them.
Right.
The ones who accept it are grimier than the ones who offer it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I just wish people would realize that the government isn't trying to fucking take your guns away. They're really not. They're really not. But there are certain weapons that should not be available or don't need to be available to the general public, in my personal opinion. Yeah, there is the whole concept of, taking up arms against your government if you have to, and what happens if we don't have assault rifles when you are facing a military. But at the same time, if you were to face the U.S. military with your handgun and your AK whatever, or you're fucked either way.
AR-15, you're going to be put down. This isn't it's not.
This isn't muskets and gunpowder.
Exactly.
It's very different.
Yeah, weapons of war shouldn't be on the streets.
No, and people that have previous conditions, mental health issues, or are on the do not fly list, should not be able to get a fucking gun.
I've preached about that many a time on this show. If you're not allowed to board a plane, you should not be allowed to own a firearm.
If you can't buy a beer without a license, but you can buy a gun. Wait, if you can't buy a beer without your license, but you can buy a gun without your license, there's a fucking problem.
Of course,
that's the gun show loophole. That's where people
if
are
you're
able to
old
get away.
and-
You pay a little bit more money than you would at a gun dealer, but you go to a gun show and you can get away with no background checks.
Listen, there are people that are not old enough to drink, and in some states not old enough to smoke a cigarette, that can buy a gun. And in most cases, even at age 16. You can walk right into a gun shop and walk right out with a
I don't know the
gun.
facts behind the 16. I think you would probably need a parent for that. But
listen,
there was this whole thing that was put out a couple of years ago where this kid, the reason I brought it up, this kid who I believe was 15 or 16, walked into a liquor store and tried to buy a 6-pack of beer and got turned away because he got carded. Then walked into a Walmart and bought either some type of
it was some sort of
handgun
weapon.
or rifle of some kind. No ID, no nothing, no parents, no signatures.
really,
Wasn't that the reason why Walmart
pulled? No, I thought Walmart pulled. I believe when Walmart started to pull their guns, I think it was after Vegas.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You could be right, but I know what you're talking about because Walmart carried ammo and firearms, and I really do think it might have been Vegas after Vegas when Walmart started pulling firearms from their store.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
I think there was an incident that occurred that made them make that decision because Walmart is Walmart, and it is what it is.
Well, and half the time, the people that are behind the counter aren't really licensed sellers.
Well, I mean,
Walmart is the
think about
licensed seller.
Think about it. Walmart employees really don't give a fuck. Honestly, they don't get paid to give a fuck. They don't get paid enough, right? I mean, when you're talking about, you're working full time, yet you still have to receive state assistance to supplement your income, and you qualify for food stamps. You don't get paid enough to give a fuck whether a 15-year-old walked in and bought a weapon.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it all. But in the end, we just need to push our governments, and I'm glad that I live in a state that after Sandy Hook took considerable actions, even in the face of facing the federal government, and said, no, we are going to do, mandatory checks
Universal
to make sure,
background check.
right, to make sure that people should have weapons. And if you have, for example, a record of being abusive to a woman, you can't own a firearm in the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut's pretty intense.
So I'm happy that I live in this state, because we really shown those parents that lost all those kids that we were willing to make changes, even if it meant just for us here in the state.
Yeah, and I'm proud of our General Assembly for passing those laws. I'm proud of our Governor Malloy, I believe it was at the time.
I believe so, yes.
I believe it was Governor Malloy, and the citizens, because we were outraged by it. We said this is not going to happen in our...
Also, Chris Murphy as well. I mean,
I love Chris Murphy and Blumenthal.
Right.
I mean, Chris Murphy, he walked door to door. He walked across the state, really pushing for this.
He does that every year, though.
I know I love both of our senators.
Right.
I hear shit about them all the time at my job, but I just let it go, because I'm like, you know what? They're going to be there next term because they're doing a great job.
Right.
So,
and plus he has great lips.
Oh, well.
I love his
things
lips.
are almost nice for
I know.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it was kind of depressing.
Yes, it was. Well, yeah, I guess that's
you know
true.
me. Gotta break the ice a little bit. So anyway, we just want to, take a moment to acknowledge the fact that June 12th was Saturday. And, all we can say is that we hope our brothers and sisters and allies rest in peace. And we will continue to remember your names. And we'll do that for as long as the show exists. Wow, 5+ years now.
Definitely over 5 years, because it's been 5 since Pulse.
Yeah, we've been doing the show for longer than
Like
Pulse.
7 now.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's
6.
It's 5 years. Because we started and like 18
We started that year?
18 episodes in is when Pulse happened, and then Paul dropped off.
Is that right?
Really?
Year 1, yeah. Paul
been
didn't make
5
it past
years.
18 episodes.
I thought it's been 84 years.
Well, that's
It has been 84 years.
That's for her manhole.
Which
That's
is actually a funny segue.
So let's talk about that.
So there is an individual
Oh, God.
that I recently met who's in a relationship and is awkwardly pursuing me, I guess, right?
Right.
And Paul said to me the other day, he was like, look, this is never going to happen for you. I'm like, clearly he's in a relationship. Like, I don't want that. He's like, but can you just get fucked? Like, can you just do that for yourself? Can you just commit to doing that for yourself? I was like, I think I'm going to, yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to, pound you out.
Some self-care,
You need it. Just
Pound you out.
he's,
and then call it a
accepting
day.
applications, have your COVID vaccine card. And
Yeah.
she might even, risk going without the card, but we
Yeah.
recommend the card.
But you told me a funny story yesterday.
Did I?
You did. You were you were sitting by the bar. He came over to talk to you, and this one gave
Oh,
you evil eyes.
literally.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
It was literally like, hi, I'm blah, blah. And Trish is like, back off, Chris. I was like, I didn't even say hi yet.
Literally.
So
I didn't do anything. Why do you always assume I'm going
It's
to
just
a nice
because
kid. He
it
seems very
always
friendly.
ends up in other people's bodies.
That is not entirely true.
Yeah, I mean, 85% of people.
First of all, we don't slut shame, but
I'm not slut shaming.
I know, but
it's a
I really
fact.
don't get around as much as they make it sound like. By the way, I live in fucking Windsor Locks.
hashtag
And you
lies
travel
to Springfield,
to New York.
and he goes to college.
I don't go to New
Long
York.
Island.
Oh, really? Oh, we're gonna go there now.
Oh, we're walking down the road.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it
What?
yellow? Is there bricks? Can he
Yeah. Do
throw
you have a brick so I
at
can
you?
throw one at her?
What are you
'cause
talking about?
Why the fuck would I go to Long Island?
Well, that was in the past.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh,
In the
yeah. You made it
past.
sound like I'm traveling there.
No, in the past.
In the past. We're talking about the past.
Blood pressure.
Lord have mercy. Do you see how these two get? I
Check your
love them.
pulse.
But anyway,
Is it there? Yeah, it's there.
So yeah, I mean, Paul's right. You need to get pounded out.
It's been 84 years.
Oh my God, I think Mama's listening. That's why she's texting me right now because she said Trish is killing me.
Oh my God, Mama. I love you. And it was so amazing to run into you at the liquor store.
Even
obviously.
Trish sees you more often than I do. So if you're listening.
And on that note, can I just say, like, I'm sure we've talked about this before, but Mama, Sky is fucking hot. Like, he is really good looking. Like, I was like, maybe I should go back in there and just like, chat with him a little bit more.
Oh, Scott.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
What? Christ. I don't know what she's talking about.
But I do. So, and so does Mama. Anyway.
Send her the link to the
Mama,
live.
do you have anything you want to add? Do you need to call in? Do you want to check in with us?
334 Gay Talk. Wait, it's 334-429-8255.
What did she just say?
All caps, don't you dare.
Don't I dare what?
No, it's to me saying, just talking about how much she avoids me nowadays. Anyway, we're not going to have this conversation with someone over text while we're, live on air.
Right.
Will you tell that one story, though?
Which one
About
story?
Mama when you were going to the grocery store?
Was this the
With
time
the
that she dropped all her quarters?
The picture that will forever live online.
Yeah.
The best one. We definitely talked about it before. I was young. I don't even think I was old enough to drink. I might have been 20.
Honey, I don't think you've ever been old enough to do anything.
Well, I mean, anywho. So we're out near somewhere that looks like Hogwarts in Connecticut on some reservoir. And we stop at a ShopRite or something like that. And she's got one of those like hospital puke buckets, like the pink puke bucket that anyone who grew up in the 90s, there was one in your closet or something like that. So she's walking, she's got about like $40 in change, and she's just shaking it. She's sashaying her way to the Coinstar. She's like, I'm gonna get me a pint of Captain Morgan or something like that, and maybe some chicken
With all of her quarters.
With all of her quarters. And I'm just walking. I'm like, Mama, I'm not gonna help you pick that up when you drop it. 1, 2. All the coins go down in the middle of where all the cars are driving. Like, this is right before the entrance. And the best part is the picture of her bending down, her ass in the air, her hands down, trying to grab everything. And I'm just walking away from her. And I have that little look back, and I just continue to move on. And that picture will forever. We need to see the picture. It's really the picture that makes it.
Well,
we'll have to find that. Mama, you're listening. I have a new phone, so I don't have that picture. So send that picture my way. How about that, Mama?
Yeah, she's not.
I sent you the link to the live for the video so that she can watch it. By the way,
oh,
if you want
beautiful.
to share it with her.
I'll share that with her.
So anyway, yeah.
Oh, she said, "What's the number?"
Oh, it's 334.
I sent the wrong one. Sorry, Liz.
429-8255.
There it is. Now you can come on and defend yourself.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
Mama.
God,
yeah,
look,
we all
gotta
love
let
Mama.
Paula.
She's been on before.
She has. She joined us when we first started, right around our first year. Oh, Miss Liz is calling. Hold on. Hi, you're live on Gay Talk.
No.
Oh, I didn't answer. Oh, no, I just hung up on
Oh,
her.
God damn it.
Hold
Interns.
on. Hold on. Why is this not?
We're not used to phone calls, but we're actually putting that phone number to use.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Dang.
Mama!
Mama!
Wow. Hi, guys. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. How are you?
Doing fantastic. First of all, how are you going to tell the pink change story without me being present? Greatest picture ever, because Chris is like walking away like, I don't give a shit. I'm not helping her. How are you guys?
We're doing well. We're doing well, still recording and doing our thing and going live and all that good stuff. And
Has it really been 5 years?
Over.
yes,
yeah.
it has. Like I always say,
Congratulations.
thank you. Time flies when you're on Prozac.
Oh.
Everybody
Ain't that
actually
the
thinks
truth?
Tom is on Prozac now.
Yeah,
I
right?
do.
I wonder if that's what the maker of Prozac is like funding this show, actually. Are you like secretly like, laundering money into Gay Talk without us knowing?
Shit, I wish.
Yeah, it's same. Yeah. I haven't seen anything.
So, Miss
probably
Liz,
not.
how are you?
Oh, same old, just working and doing everything that I got to do to save lives.
Which is amazing. So last time we had spoken about you were just getting pinned, and now you've been a nurse for God knows how long now.
Yeah, 2 years in October.
Congrats.
So, yeah. And when I first hit the scene, that's when Miss Rona also hit the scene.
Well,
so that was interesting.
Yeah, she's a bitch. So how was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, Mama's been working hard throughout this entire pandemic.
Yeah, it was very stressful because it's like every week they changed the parameters and what to do and all that. So it was very stressful. I work in like a post-acute setting, so it's not like hospital work, but I mean, I still took care of COVID patients like in home afterwards, and it was tough. But I mean, tough times never last. Tough people do.
That's right, Mama. So I'm happy that you called, because now that we kind of got on the COVID thing, I have a question for you. So I've talked about the people who come into the bar I work at and how I don't agree with pretty much anything most of them say. And there's this one person, and it's kind of stuck with me. She goes around, she calls this the scam-demic. Now, you who have been on the front lines, or like you said, you're not working in the hospitals, but you've been dealing with COVID patients. How would you respond to someone who calls the global pandemic, which has taken hundreds of thousands of lives and over millions of lives and continues to do that? How would you respond to someone who would call this a scam-demic?
Well, do you want my response if I'm drinking or if I'm trying to be professional? Because if I already had a couple cocktails, I would be like, you fucking bitch. Like,
well, just give it to us. I mean, yeah, let's hear it.
Dare you?
Yeah.
Like, there are people out there who have literally died from this. And I have a lot of my nursing friends who I got pinned with were working the COVID floors, and it was not a scam at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's degrading basically, and it's really rude to think that this was just a publicity stunt, political, however conspiracy theory they want to spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awful,
Yeah.
And I can't tolerate that kind of stuff,
right.
But what is interesting is that, like, when the vaccine came, at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get that vaccine. That seems like kind of too quick to come out. Well, they told us, Department of Public Health told us that in the beginning of October that we would have a vaccine mid-December and that we would have to start inoculating people. So like a bunch of me and my friends were talking. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get it. And I was talking to my hot roommate, Scott, as you put it, Trish.
Oh my God, he's so hot.
And he was like, how are you going to give the vaccine if you're not even going to take it yourself? Like, that kind of negates the purpose. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I got vaccinated, and I'm happy with that. And it worked because Scott got COVID, and I was in the same house, and I never got it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always hearing about the perspective of the medical workers and what they have to do for within the spaces that they work in. But now that I have you on the phone, I'm really interested in knowing a little bit about your state of mind and your state of mental health during this entire pandemic and having to work. How were you? How are you now? Versus that. Oh, well, thanks for asking. Right now I'm good because it's on the downside. Things are getting back to normal. But at first it was really tough because, first of all, nursing is tough in general. Mm-hmm. Like, you put a lot of your emotion into it and you're caring for someone else. And sometimes that person doesn't care for their health as they should. Mm-hmm. So you put a lot of effort into it. And during the pandemic, I had a caseload of about 30, 35 people, and I would see them through the week, and a lot of them are elderly. A lot of them couldn't see their family even through a window, and they got extremely depressed. Anxiety was through the roof, and that just and you put a lot of effort into talking to them about their problems, and then at the end of the day, you're just mentally and emotionally exhausted from all day doing that. It's like you have no time to really digest the situation itself and see how you respond to it. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of just throwing, everything that I was taught and everything into my patients, and then really not taking the time to be like, all right, well, this is happening to me too. Like, I can't see my friends. I can't see my family. It's very hard, et cetera, et cetera. But overall, not too bad. Made it through. And I'm glad things are starting to get back to normal. Yeah. So that's good.
Absolutely.
It definitely feels good to
it
have
does.
things start to level out.
I mean, even Tom and I today, we went to Adams and we were walking a grocery store local around here, and we're walking toward the door, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have my mask. And an employee walked by and they're like, you don't need your mask. And that's still new to me. I'm not used to going somewhere without covering my face.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to add, Liz, I think that, the medical field, there's a lot of, things that you can do in the medical field and, be successful and stuff. But I think that nurses really are the front line of what it's like to work, right? It's like it's like the entry point. Like, you're the contact person. You're always with the patients. You're taking care of them. And I think that, in my opinion, being a nurse is a selfless act. And so I thank you for your service. I thank you for taking care of the patients and working as hard as you did to see us through, this pandemic.
As per usual.
Oh, yeah.
2 quick things.
Oh, nasty.
First thing is, when we were talking about Liz becoming a nurse, like before she actually got pinned, we were like, can you imagine if Liz walked in as your nurse? And I'm like, I trust her, so I probably would be fine. But at the same time, I'm like, no, you're not going to put a catheter in.
Yeah, right, because she's going to trip on that catheter.
It's going to rip out of you.
Yeah. Pull my insides out through my dick.
So, Liz, what's the funniest thing that's happened so far since you've been pinned?
Oh, my God.
Give us a Liz moment. Give me a
Liz
mama moment.
Oh my God, a mama moment. Oh my God,
like one of those. I know one of them.
Well, this goes back to like nursing school, but I had to take a rectal.
This is the one. I knew it. I knew you were going with this one.
I had to take a rectal temp, and with the thermometer or whatever, it has a sheath protection there. So I put it in there, got the rectal temp, and I pulled it out, and then I hit the button, and the sheet sailed across the room. So it was like, and I was like, I'm like,
That's exactly the story I was thinking about.
Sorry about that.
Well, we're going to have to do this again.
Like, that's totally not supposed to happen.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Like wide-eyed, sending like poop torpedoes across the room. It's just like, oh my God.
Oh, that's my mama.
She still got pinned. Love it.
Yeah. Sometimes there's days I come home and I'm like, I really probably shouldn't be taking care of people.
Well, it's not that you shouldn't be taking care of people. I think you're pretty great at that. I just you have such small feet.
You're right, and you're so tall in stature.
I fell last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you wearing heels?
No, I wasn't.
All right, because I've outlawed that years ago.
I know. No, never again. And Scott was like, the first thing you said when you fell was, not again.
Oh, man.
Gotta love it.
Well, we love you and we miss you.
We do.
Yes, miss you guys too.
Just give Scott my number. Okay, bye.
Yeah, and definitely make sure you tell your best friend Scott that we miss him.
There it is. I was waiting for that. That's what I was waiting for. Love you guys. Stay safe, okay?
All right, you too, Mama. Love you.
Love you.
All right, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that of course was, Liz.
That's Mama.
Mama. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. All right. So listen, we do have some stories that we have to talk about on the second half of the break. So why don't we get Flag Day taken care of, and then we can go to break.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. I guess get that out of the way.
So while we were talking about, while I started and then we shifted, which took us in completely different direction, of course, obviously, because, we go in tangents and things happen.
And then we had actually someone use the phone number we've been paying for 4 years that no one ever calls.
I like how he says we.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that too. I was like
he's French. All
the
of a
intern
sudden?
pays for it.
Yeah.
Like, are you
got to pay your dues.
Oui. So anyway, so we were talking about the fact that today's Flag Day, and we wanted to sort of kind of, throw a little something in there to explain, because honestly, I really wasn't too sure if Flag Day was just for one particular flag or all the flags. And so Christopher's going to give us the lowdown on that.
Yeah, because we were sitting outside. We had grilled some food before this, and we were like, what is Flag Day? I'm like, you know what? I like me as a history major, I'm like, ah, shit, I should probably have the answer to that. I didn't know what Flag Day was. So we did a little research, and the holiday was originally established by President Woodrow Wilson on May 30th, 1916, but it failed to be recognized as a federal holiday when it was not included in the 1968 Uniform Holiday Act. Legislation signed by former President Harry Truman in 1914 proclaimed Flag Day as a national holiday, but it never made the federal list. So last week, President Joe Biden, I just love saying that. It just,
Yeah, it feels good.
it really does.
Yeah.
Like President Joe Biden declared June 13th, 2021, the start of National Flag Week and directed officials to display the flag on all federal government buildings this week. So what I had thought Flag Day was, and I'm going to give the meaning right here, was maybe when the U.S. flag was completed after we put the 50th star on the flag. But it is this day, 244 years ago, when Congress commemorated Betsy Ross's creation of the Stars and Stripes as our national flag.
Right. So, but I have a question though, because in the story and in the description that you gave, he goes that he declared that this would be a week of celebration of Flag Day, blah, 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 and he decreed that all federal buildings fly the U.S. flag.
The Stars and Stripes.
But don't we already fly them in all federal buildings?
I would think so.
I mean, every federal building I've ever been to has an American flag.
Right.
Are we saying that we don't fly the current American flag and
No, we're flying our flag.
The original one?
There have been 27 variations, but we always keep with the one we have now, the most modern. So it was always the federal flag of the United States was the variation that was accepted at that time. So right now, our flag is the one with the 50 stars.
Well, I would hope we have 50 states.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Oh, bitch can count. Look at me.
Look at that.
So,
I mean, we should have let a couple of them go, but
right. That's amazing.
All right.
So,
just kidding.
And we also thought, because, we're a gay show, we're an LGBTQ plus show, we thought that it would be really cool on Flag Day to talk about the inspiration behind our flag, which is our pride flag. And so Christopher, again, our, pride flag, our flag expert for today, is going to give you the lowdown on the history of our flag and its creator.
Yeah. So, our flag, we've talked about it before, the pride flag created by Gilbert Baker back in 1979 was when we really modified our flag. Originally, it came with eight stripes, and the stripes ran vertical rather than as they are now horizontal. After the assassination of the gay San Francisco city supervisor, of course, Harvey Milk, on November 27th, 1978, there was a demand for a flag to really rally our community together. There were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 stripes. And they each signified different meanings. So the pink stripe was for sex, red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, light blue or turquoise for magic, blue for serenity, and purple for spirit. This was based in San Francisco, but it was modified in 1979 when it was hung vertically from the street lamppost of San Francisco's, what is the name of the street? It's Market Street. There it is. The center stripe was obscured by the post itself. So changing the flag design to one with an even number of stripes was the easiest way to rectify this. So the turquoise stripe was stripped down, which resulted with 6 striped version of the flag: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And now we have the unity flag, which brings in black and brown stripe.
And also the colors of the trans community as well.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And so you remember you guys always asked, why are we choosing purple as the backdrop for our cover? Remember?
No.
Did we ask that?
Like when we were talking about creating the show and we came up with the art concept, right? Or when I came up with the art concept, I presented you guys. Bitch, I gave you guys several options to choose from, but the reason why I chose purple is because purple is just one of those colors that really promotes, serenity and also makes it very spiritful, right? And we are a very spiritful group of guys, and we get really crazy sometimes, and we get really emotional sometimes. We're pretty much all over the place, and so
we got a lot of spirit on here.
Yeah. So I think
it's
purple
like spirit,
really
spunk.
suited us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Soapboxes.
Yes,
yeah.
that too.
And we've all used them. We've all shared Trish's soapbox, but there's a lot. I like to say we got some spirit on this show. Yes.
Yes, we do. All right. Well, listen, with that, what we're going to do is we're going to leave you with some music. And when we come back, we have more Dish and the rest of the show for today. We'll be right back.
She was waiting by the back door, said, babe, we gotta leave town. Get your shit, get your suitcase, your dog, your guitar, cause we gotta go now, cause they're coming. Well, they know our fucking names, yes, they're coming, just the same. Well, I know you don't want to leave your life. You've had some blood and tears, little joy, little strife. But they're coming, well, they're coming down the road, yes, they're coming, truth be told. And don't forget the whiskey, and don't forget your history. It was never their land in the first place, but they're coming just the same. Got a knapsack full of judgment, hypocrisy, and lies. And they're talking so much hateful bullshit, they've begun to gather flies. But they're coming, well, don't look them in the eyes. Yes, they're coming, no surprise. And with so much terror in our past, how are you so surprised it's come to bite you in the ass? Yes, it's coming. Well, it's nipping at your heels. Yes, it's coming for the kill. And don't forget the whiskey, and don't forget your history. It was never their land to sell or trade. No, don't forget the whiskey, and don't forget your history. It was never their land in the first place, but they're coming just the same. So I'll meet you at the station where we can get on that train, head out to the wastelands where we can change our names, cause they're coming. Well, they know our fucking names. Yes, they're coming just the same. Just the same. Just the same. Just the same.
Fairy dust, fairy dust, fairy dust. We are back, ladies and gents, from the break. That, of course, was the amazing Amanda Barrick with Wasteland.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
I didn't see you hit the button.
Oh, it's recording. It's red.
Okay.
There's a baby moose.
Oh, I forgot about that. Anyway, her album, Wasteland, is available on all the major music streaming services, so make sure that you go check it out. She is an LGBTQ artist, so it is, Pride Month, and it's always great to support those artists that are part of our community. And that's that. I ran down those stairs, and I am so, winded right now.
That was like me last night when I was singing. Halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, I'm winded.
She sang one song from Rent. Mm-hmm. Oh, she was winded. She was like, oh my God.
But she got through it.
Yeah, she did. But I mean, she hadn't sung in 15 months. So I give you props.
Thank you.
You better work. Anyway, we're back. And I was excited to talk about the story because sometimes I just truly, truly, truly love the interwebs. And when I say interwebs, I mean the internet and social media and the power that it has to really polarize a large number of people into doing something that is just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to tee up the story. So there was a bakery in Texas, and actually the town is called Lufkin, Texas, that created these beautiful heart-shaped rainbow-colored cookies. You would be totally into them.
Yeah, I'm ordering them right now.
Right. Order me some too. I'll pay you. And so they created the cookies and they posted the cookies on their Facebook page and on their social media. And they had a very large order that had been placed the day before that they just finished making and decorating. And the person saw the picture of the Pride-inspired heart cookies and canceled this very large order. And so the baker went on social media and posted a picture and said, you know, quote, "Today has been hard, really hard." The June 3rd Facebook post read as followed: "We lost a significant amount of followers because of a rainbow heart cookie we posted. We received a very hateful message on our business page canceling a large order, 5 dozen. I don't know if that would be a large order, but maybe for that little town in Texas it is. But nonetheless, it was impactful for their bottom line. Of summer-themed cookies for tomorrow morning that they had just finished decorating because of the rainbow heart cookie design that they created. My heart is heavy. Honestly, I never thought a post that literally said more love, less hate would result in this kind of backlash to a very, very small business that is struggling to stay afloat and spread a little cheer through baked goods." The shop posted, and they went on to say, quote, "So if you love our cookies, we will have an overabundance of them tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day." Well, shit, it was. So the post went viral, the story went viral, and the very next day, people started showing up in droves. So much so that the line went around the block. And not only the online orders and the in-person orders sold out the cookies that were in the shape of a heart and rainbows, they sold out the entire bakery.
That's crazy.
So this particular baker probably made maybe 4 months worth of salary like in one day. And I love that this happened, and I love that it happened on Pride Month.
Right.
And it just goes to show you that, you know what? When you go through something like this, don't be afraid to speak up, because there are a lot of people out there that are willing to support you for standing your ground and sticking with love rather than hate.
Right. And it's awesome to see this picture of, my sister's calling me, that empty shelf. They posted a picture of a shelf that's completely empty. That's amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a bakery.
No.
But I've never seen that either.
You know, and to think that, 4 or 5 years ago, we had a case of a baker who refused to bake a cake for a same-sex couple that ended up at the Supreme Court, and it was upheld by the Supreme Court, right?
For
the
religious liberties.
Right. They had the right to do that. And here we have, this is the complete opposite of that. And to me...
Well, it's the people who are, it's not really the complete opposite. It's not, the judicial branch stepping in or federal or legislative branch stepping in. It's the people stepping in who they represent. But they stepped up and they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to deal with this hatred.
Right.
We're going to show love because, like they said, what was it? Love. What did they say?
To support love. And
more love, less hate.
Right.
I wanted to get the exact quote.
And so the place is actually called Confections. And again, they are
And their baker's name is Felicia. I just
Stop it. And so they again are located in help me out, Trish, because you read it. Lufkin, Texas. Where is Lufkin, Texas?
Okay, so I actually looked it up.
Okay, of course. Thank you.
Okay, so it's in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Which makes sense why 5 dozen would seem like a very large order.
So it is in between. Hold on, I'm zooming out a little bit. Houston. So it's above Houston and Austin, in between Houston and Dallas, and like closer to the Louisiana border.
Yeah, that's definitely cow country.
Yeah, no, it's a small town.
Right. And if you've ever been to Texas, I mean, it takes like 15 hours to drive that state from north to south. It's huge, and the highways are massive. But anyway, that's not the point.
The estimated population is 35,000.
So, what was that? Oh, never mind. That's probably somebody breathed on the mic.
I thought you broke something on your body.
I thought something fell down upstairs or something. Anyway, but it really warms my heart to see this. And so, as you were saying, you were going to go online and order something. I think I'm going to do the same because, this is exactly the type of business and the type of people that we should be supporting. So I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. Thank you, interwebs, for doing your flexing your muscle and your power.
Well, what's also kind of amazing is that after they ran out of everything, the last several people that were in the shop had nothing to buy, but they put money on their credit cards for the bakery to actually donate back to different organizations locally.
That's amazing.
Which is
That
pretty
is
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
which, they're beyond supportive because they're going, not only did they sell out and get this huge thing, but they're like, well, we have nothing else to give you. Well, we still want to support you.
So we'll donate.
So they took the money, but they're giving it back,
Right.
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
that's awesome. These are the kind of stories.
Thank you, Felicia.
Right.
And Miranda.
Right. Yes, Felicia. Yes, Miranda. These are the kind of stories that we want to see happening, especially in Pride Month when we're supposed to be celebrating our diversity.
Fuck,
And
Felicia must have been pissed off the next day. She had a lot of bacon to do.
Hey, she's happy about that. She's like, I have to bake a lot because they bought everything I baked yesterday.
We're going to have to close tomorrow because I got to bake
Right.
all day.
It's the first time Felicia is saying bye to someone else.
Legit.
Exactly.
Like,
She's flipping
hello,
that
Felicia.
around.
Bye, everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. Oh. But it is a heartwarming story. We're actually going to post a link to the story as well on tonight's post so that you guys can check it out for yourself. And I'm definitely going to go on Facebook and follow them and leave them a nice little heartwarming message because they were awesome and amazing. And thank you. So that being said, we, of course, are going to move right along. We have Mama Kim's Minute, so I'm going to toss it over to our resident, Trish. So let me give her some love.
Thank you. All right, everybody.
Like that.
Mama Kim's Minute. Number 1, San Francisco Giants make sports history wearing pride-themed uniforms. Amazing.
Yes.
Number 2, anti-LGBTQ doctor testifies in Ohio House that COVID vaccines make people magnetic.
What?
Pause.
What the fuck is that? Like, they make you magnetic?
Magnetic.
Well,
Like iron, nickel, or cobalt will stick to you if you walk by it.
Then I'm going to walk into a bank and pray that the money just comes flying at me. Knock me the fuck out.
It'll be all fucking dimes.
With my luck, it'll probably be copper pennies.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Number 3, Arby's employee fired after writing homophobic slur on customer's receipt.
Before they fire him, I will...
Well, it's fired, so it's
Imagine if
past
it was
tense.
me
Oh, yeah, right?
last night.
I don't think
She
they
would have
would
prayed
an
to get fired.
I don't think she would even have an opportunity to get
No.
fired. She would probably get cooked on the grill like meat.
Disemboweled. The insides would have been removed
She
from
will
that
be
human.
It would
cut
not
and
have been
quartered.
pretty.
Is that what they used to say?
Oh,
I'd be like, you want to see a hate crime, bitch?
drawn and quartered. Drawn and quartered. Yeah, you want to see hate, bitch? Yeah.
I'll show you a hate crime.
Oh, my God, damn it. We do not stand for violence.
Fuck no. I do a little bit sometimes. No, but so last night I got one of my customers left a note on one of my receipts, but LJ had rung them out and ran the card, and it was like a heart, and it said, oh, like, you're super cute or something like that. And I got back to my register, I'm looking at it, and I looked at him. I was like, was this for me? And he's like, yeah, I'm like, you motherfucker.
You sure it wasn't so-and-so?
No, it
Pound you
wasn't.
out guy?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, so you have a second admirer? Look at
No,
you.
it wasn't for me. He wrote that on a tab that LJ rang out of mine.
Oh, so they wrote it for LJ, and then you got
And
the
then I
tab.
looked at him and I was like, is this for me? And he was like,
It's mine, bitch.
No, he was like, that was definitely for LJ.
I mean, the boy is fine.
We don't need to go there because after what he said to me last night, we're
Yeah,
not
I know.
talking.
That's all right. We can change it. So also with Mama Kim's Minute, along with the San Francisco Giants, I texted you guys on Friday, I think it was, when I was working. Wednesday, excuse me. The U.S. men's national soccer team, the numbers on their jerseys are in rainbow.
I was going to say, if
That's
he
right.
mentions hockey in Canada, I'm going to kill him.
I said soccer.
I know. But I thought for a moment there, because you were looking for the word that you were going to come out with.
No,
say
I was trying to find the
soccer.
date. The date. It was Wednesday when they were playing. I believe they were playing a friendly match against Costa Rica. But yes, our national men's soccer team are donning the rainbow colors for the month of Pride. So that was really nice to see. I looked at Barry, the kitchen manager. I was like, "You see the rainbow? They like gays."
Oh my God. So I know we're tangenting right now, but like,
It's okay.
so Love Victor is back.
It is. Did
It is.
Did you see it?
So I have been watching it.
I told you about it yesterday. You already watched half of it?
No, only 2 episodes.
Oh,
3
okay. I was going to say, damn, this bitch don't wait. I was like, she probably stood up till 5 a.m. watching TV again.
No. But he is a basketball player, and now he had come out, and then his team had complained and asked him to change in a different space.
Stop. We're going to cut somebody right now. And obviously, it's a show. It's a TV show. But
Yep.
things like this happen in real life.
I mean, but it was
We're not
handled
gonna
well
clear-
in the show, I think.
Right.
But this season seems to be tackling some interesting, intense issues, which we can get to once I get through the whole thing.
Right. And let me get through the whole thing, too. Like, I have to watch it, too. Now I'm going to have to, like, watch, like, 4 episodes tonight just so that we can be on the same page.
Get the whole thing.
Yeah. What is that?
It's my foot.
Can you stop?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We're on
So-
air.
Right.
It's just unprofessional.
Speaking of TV, not the least. Speaking of TV, this bitch says to me, "Did you watch In the Heights yet?" I was like, "Yeah, I get it. I'm Puerto Rican, and there's Latinos in it, and those are my peoples." But
That's actually a line in the musical.
really, oh, look at that.
I saw that on Broadway.
And I am gonna watch it,
Barrio.
but I don't necessarily have to watch it just because I'm Latino. I'm just gonna put that out there. Or
Isn't it
Latinx, or
Latinx?
whatever.
No,
it
I
is.
know, but,
I
like,
say Latino. You
see-
can say Latinx, whatever you want to call me.
I hear what you're
I take it
saying, but at the same time, like, how often do you see yourself or your family represented in TV like this?
Not often, but
I think that's what's amazing about In the Heights.
I wasn't going there in a negative way. I just wanted to go there in the little fun little joke that you cracked at bingo.
Oh, no, I know.
So
I was waiting for it.
So Trish says, "Tom, you have to watch In the Heights." There's this one part in the movie that I swear to God, when I first saw it, I just had to just start laughing so loud. So I'm gonna let you tee that up and explain.
Okay, so we all know that Tom's mom loves bingo and your entire family. And you actually now host bingo here.
Every Friday.
Outside. Yeah.
I'm going to take I'm off one Friday this month. I want in.
It's
Okay,
fun. It's
fine.
fun.
It's fun.
I've been here. But
wasn't
there's a moment in the Heights where all these families are getting together and they're, singing and spending time together or whatever. And the next thing you know, all the women are pulling out bingo cards, and I was not expecting that, and I just lost it because I'm like, oh my God, it's Tom's family. There's food everywhere. They're singing, they're yelling, they're talking, and then there's bingo cards coming out of the woman's purse.
I'll tell you, that's my family. They yell, bingo cards everywhere. Booze, food, all that stuff.
So two things. So In the Heights, they made a TV series
a movie.
a movie
A movie.
based on the Broadway musical, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I saw it on Broadway with Corbin Blue from High School Musical. Corbin Blue.
Could be.
He was like the main character when I
So
saw
this
it.
particular film is a musical in the sense.
So yeah, so it's based off the Broadway.
So they're singing in it.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's a
you'll
musical.
have some dialogue and then people just jump into song.
Right.
So just like Grease and all these other.
Right. It's a musical. Not
But
an opera.
honestly, it is one of the best movie musicals I've seen in a very long time.
I mean, Lin-Manuel
Les Mis.
Miranda.
Oh, I thought you.
Oh, I know.
The
And
man
he's
is
in
a
it.
genius.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. I mean, Hamilton, now In the Heights.
Well, In the Heights, then Hamilton.
Right. He's a genius. And, and the fact that this has been sitting on the shelf for 2 years because of COVID and the pandemic, initially this was slated to be released in early 2020. or late 2019, and they didn't because of the issues with the pandemic, theaters being closed and stuff, and so they're releasing it now. And to see it be as successful as it is, it's just amazing. Right. And you're right. Seeing myself and my culture, my family represented, and even bingo, will most likely make me feel good. But this bitch didn't have to go there.
You're going to love it.
Oh, I know.
Well,
she's nasty.
Well, that leads me to one more thing. So, especially because we have
okay, Trish,
a listener out there. So it's not only Mama that doesn't invite me to things. It's you two also. I don't get an invite to bingo night.
Trish came to bingo once.
A couple times.
Oh.
Lies.
But then again, Chris, I'm always here. I don't even call him.
Right.
I just show up.
And you were with Bobby, and so you were like not in the mood to like see anybody else other than be in a room locked up with your Bobby.
I'm sorry I asked. Let's move on.
Oh, so that's all it takes to like I'm sorry. Anyway. All right. So
can I say one more line?
God damn it.
Fine, never mind.
Go for it.
No, it doesn't. It's not going to be
now
funny
I want okay, well, I figured that, but
Oh, she is nasty. She about to get cut. Listen, she almost killed LJ last night. We need
No,
you.
I didn't.
Well, you're right. Okay. So Christopher, on this day.
oh, it's my turn again. All right, so I have to speak. All right, so on this day in gay history, is it brought to you by anyone?
Stop.
Ugh.
Jawohl!
It's brought to you by you.
I like that. All right. So on this day in gay history, June 14th, 2004, in Australia, in response to the Australian government's failure to recognize same-sex marriages, a group of gay and lesbian activists found a separatist micronation in the Coral Sea Islands in June 2004, claiming that they are due to compensation under the unjust enrichment law. They take the Coral Sea Islands off of the east coast of Australia as territorial compensation and decide to secede from Australian sovereignty. Inspired by the United States Declaration of Independence, the Gay and Lesbian Kingdom draft their own Declaration of Independence, which declares that, quote, all people are created equal. The kingdom chooses the rainbow flag as their official flag, the pink triangle as their coat of arms, and Gloria Gaynor's I Am What I Am as their national anthem.
I cannot.
That is amazing.
I was so shocked. Like, we've used this app to find on this day for several years now,
yeah.
I imagine now. So and
maybe we never did a show on June 14th for us.
maybe could have been. But the interesting thing was I looked it up. So the gay and lesbian response, again, to the Australian government to refuse to recognize same-sex marriage, this remained as a seceded, I don't know if you want to call it a nation, but they considered themselves a constitutional monarchy up till November 17th, 2007.
Please tell me that the queen was a drag queen or
Oh
something.
my God, I was just thinking the same thing.
That's a really good point. Now I want to look even further
You
into
said
this.
monarchy, and I'm like, oh, who was the queen?
I know. Now I want to see even
You
further
had a
into
drag
this.
king and a drag queen.
There you go. I mean,
It's
so
the imperial sovereign court of these little
of the
islands.
Coral Sea Islands. So it remained a kingdom. It was dissolved as a kingdom on November 17, 2017, per the decision made by the Australian people to legalize same-sex marriage. I remember we had Christopher Entwistle on to talk about that prior to the yes vote. But it's interesting. So when you look, it is Wikipedia. I hate that I'm using that.
Ben, our friend Ben from Australia.
Oh, yeah, too.
Who would always send us information regarding the equality fight there.
So if you go on Wikipedia, which I never really use, but it comes up as the Gay and Lesbian Kingdom of the Coral Sea Islands as a micronation, 2004 to 2017. You can see the flag is the rainbow flag, anthem, I Am What I Am, location, Coral Sea Islands, official language, English, membership, LGBT people, organizational structure, constitutional monarchy.
So it's constitutional.
Well, it's a constitutional monarchy. So the monarch, the drag queen, if that would be, it would be the head of state, but the legislative branch.
Oh my
in the
God, can you
parliament
imagine
takes
if they had like Bianca Del Rio on their money?
Well, and that's funny because the purported currency was the pink dollar.
Oh my
pink-
God.
Yeah, they had a currency.
I want to live there.
I know. I was like, this. When you brought that up, I'm like, I need to look about this. I've never heard it.
We must
Look about
visit.
this. I love it.
I tried to like breeze over it. And,
Like that's one trip I'd be willing to put on the GayTalk credit card.
all right, those visas aren't cheap, and you need one to get there. So you heard it here.
She's never going. She'll be dead before then.
Well, that's not nice. All right. Well, that's my on this day in gay history, and that was a fun one.
No, that's great. I love it. Oh my God, that's too funny. That's too funny. Oh my God, the monarch, a drag queen.
I want to know that now.
I mean, I would obviously be the queen.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know.
Off with her head.
Right. She would decorate everything in rainbows.
I feel like if it's a drag queen, it'd be like, off with her heels.
Right.
Not the head.
Off with her chest plate. All right, Tom. Let's take it home.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love the show, make sure that you go subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting service. By subscribing, you get the latest and greatest of our show delivered right to your favorite device or web browser as soon as our episodes are published. You can also support us on Patreon. Patreon is a service that allows you, our listeners, to support the show with a monetary donation. Those donations we collect monthly and can be in any denomination of $1 or more. Christopher?
Yeah, next week we welcome Robert Bannon, who joins us to talk about his most recent single released for Pride titled I Think He Knew, written by Matt Gould and Griffin Matthews.
Yes, Queen. Look at you reading those names. I'm proud of you. Mm-hmm. Trish? Oh, wait. Stop.
Thank you.
No. And now, here's Nick with a weekly reminder for all of you bottoms out there who want to keep their buttholes on point. Yes, we are talking about the future method.
Oh, damn. Hold on. We're not ready. All right. Get the future method today. Each time you clean out with water or enemas, delicate tissues are harmed and cells are damaged, increasing chances of injury or STDs. The first of its kind doctor-developed formula gently cleanses before you play without hurting your bum. Visit futuremethod.com to purchase your life-changing bum cleanser.
Yes, Queen Christopher.
I just don't know about you guys today, so I'm going to be safe.
Well, he didn't put the right one in there, so I had to go back to a different episode to get the right info.
That's
well,
okay,
still, to be safe, I'm going to put a rubber on it.
Thank you.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. As always, our show is available on our website, GayTalk20.com, under audio podcasts. It is also available as a free download on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher Radio.
You can find us on social media.
What? At least she's putting a rubber on something. But anyway, go ahead.
For once in her life. You can find us on social media. Facebook, GayTalk 2.0. Instagram, GayTalk 2.0. Twitter at GayTalk 20. You can email us at GayTalk 2.0 at GayTalk20.com. Tom, give it a try.
All right. And if you, where am I? If you need to reach out to us, just head on over to our website and click on the Contact Us tab located at the top of your web browser. There you can leave comments, suggest topics, submit a question for the cast or for an individual host. Or you can do what Mama did today and call us with any questions you may have. We can answer those for you live on air. The phone number is 334-GAY-TALK. And if you need all those digits, it is 334-429-8255. Don't forget that we do stream live every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can access that live stream by visiting digitalstreamradio.com. With that, ladies and gents, and everyone in between, that is our show. Thank you, and y'all have a good night. Bye! Thank you for listening to this episode of Gay Talk 2.0. Tune in next time for more dish.